We are here to talk about Brazil IT, the government's program for showcasing the best of breed indigenous IT companies in the Brazilian space. It is actually a program that's been in place for the last 6 years, 6 to 7, and currently it's clusterized, meaning it has 16 different clusters from aviation, healthcare, finance, agribusiness, and outsourcing. Outsourcing is one of them, and this is why we're here today, to explain a little bit further why we think you should be considering seriously one of the Brazilian companies that are very active in the IT services space. Some of the most successful Brazilian IT companies belong to that space. Brazil has a wide range of capabilities, sometimes making it even hard to position itself. Very few people know that Brazil has the largest mainframe installed base outside the United States. And also, it has the largest Java community outside the United States. So that means that from mainframe all the way down to open source, whatever technical flavor or whatever development platform, Brazil can step up to the plate and fit the bill. It also brings industry-wide expertise. Very few people realize that Brazil, as a big country, it also has a very diverse economy. And diverse economy, which today is around about 45 to 50 different strong economic sectors. Some people don't realize that when they're flying like such an American Eagle aircraft in the United States for a regional flight, they're actually flying a Brazilian aircraft. And some people don't realize that sometimes when they're going on the road and seeing some cultivation being done on some farm, the big machinery they see out there is also Brazilian made. Well, the industry-wide expertise with this diverse economy that Brazil has helps Brazilian IT companies really understand the business. What are the business outcomes that are expected, especially by the clients? So this is a very key aspect of the value proposition that Brazil IT and the Brazilian companies bring forth. Another one, which sometimes people call it a bit subjective, but at the end, when you look at TCO, it has a very big impact. It's the cultural alignment. Brazil is actually the true melting pot. I've heard many times the United States and American society being called a melting pot, but I don't think it will match what Brazil really represents, because while in the States you still have some diverse cultural influences, they're somewhat siloed, which is different from Brazil, where they're all put into one single blender and all those races are turned on. So what that represents in the real world is that there are no cultural boundaries. Any given project is beautiful on paper. Paper will take everything and anything. However, when you roll that project out onto the field, you find out things that you did not plan for that you need to adjust. You find out things that you did plan for they don't work. And those adjustments mean that you're going to be negotiating between dispersed teams around the world. And those cultural differences can sometimes come into play. And when they do come into play, their direct impact is you're going to take longer to get that new alignment, that new common language on board so you can keep your project moving forward. So when you look at that, we normally say that in the Brazilian culture, the Brazilians in the IT space have the capability of hit the ground running every time. That lack of culturalists and that capability that comes from a wide range of technical skills helps them really align, not just as a vendor, but Brazilian Values Prop is really focused on aligning as a partner. Brazilian companies are really interested to find out how can they aggregate value, how can they actually excel and exceed expectations at the business outcome level and not just at the technical delivery. So positioning itself as a partner and rather than a vendor, it really is where it's at as we see it going forward these days, where things are a lot more competitive, the environment is a lot stricter, and companies need to really make ends meet with less resources. And to close it up, the thing about Brazil now is that it looks like the giant that was asleep has finally awakened. We hear a lot of things about Brazil, and what we see is that definitely because of the World Sporting Events it has just secured, they will be hosting the Summer Olympics, they will be hosting the FIFA World Cup. A lot of people don't realize that there are many other events that go around those two major events. And because of Brazil being able to weather the financial turmoil worldwide very well, actually betting and developing a stronger internal market, its domestic market, now it's one of the places to go. It's one of the markets that everyone was looking after. So Brazil is definitely an increasing glowing light in the world's radar. And we encourage anyone and everyone that when they look at their next project, try to bring a Brazilian perspective onto that project. Do reach out to Brazilian IT vendors and IT service providers and let them pitch in to see how they can aggregate value to your project. We are certain that you will not be unsatisfied, that anyone that really gives a chance to a Brazilian IT company will be definitely surprised with the capability, with the wide range technical skills, with the commitment, and with its really strong alignment in the business outcome. So do that and you'll find that you don't have just a vendor, you'll have a true reliable partner. Thank you.